All right, let's talk about it. We are tackling one of the most argued about, debated, and frankly, screamed about rules in all of sports. Yep, it's the offside rule. It's the one that can erase a beautiful goal in an instant and leave millions of us just yelling at our screens. But it's there for a really good reason. It's to stop players from just, goal hanging, camping out by the opponent's goal waiting for a long pass. It keeps the game all about skill, movement, and actual teamwork. So if you've ever watched a game and been totally baffled by an offside call, trust me, you are not alone. It can feel like some kind of secret code, a total mystery that gets decided in a split second. But I promise, by the end of this, that mystery is going to be solved. You'll be spotting it like a pro. So our goal here is super simple. We're going to demystify this thing once and for all. We'll break it down into its core parts and separate what actually matters from all the noise. So let's dive right in. Okay, to really get this, we have to split it into two key ideas. First up, we're just talking about the position. This has nothing to do with a foul or doing anything wrong. It's just geography, purely about where a player is standing on the pitch at one specific moment. Okay, here is the official textbook definition. Now, I know it sounds a little wordy and complicated, but it really just boils down to two simple things that have to both be true at the exact same time. So here they are. Condition 1, you've got to be on the other team's half of the field. Easy enough. Condition 2, you have to be closer to their goal line than both the ball and the second-to-last opponent. Now, that second-to-last opponent bit is what trips people up. But think about it. Who is almost always the last opponent? The goalie, right? So that means the second-to-last opponent is usually just the last defender out on the field. And here's where it gets really interesting and kind of nitpicky. Any part of your head, your body, or your feet, basically any part you can legally score a goal with, can put you in an offside position, even if it's just by a millimeter. But your hands and arms? Nope. Since you can't score with them, they don't count at all. They're invisible to the offside rule. I'm going to say this again because it's probably the most important thing to get right now. Just standing in an offside position is perfectly legal. You can be there all day long. The referee won't blow the whistle. No foul. Nothing has happened. Yet. All right, so we've got the position down. Now let's connect it to the action. This is the moment when just standing in a certain spot on the field can turn into a game-stopping offense. This is the part that actually matters when the ball's in play. So, yeah, if just being there isn't illegal, then what is? When does the referee actually blow that whistle and stop the attack? And boom, here it is, the simple formula. For it to be an offside offense, two things have to happen. One, you have to be in that offside position we just talked about at the exact moment a teammate kicks or touches the ball. And two, you then have to actually get involved in the play. It's that simple. Position plus involvement equals an offense. So what does getting involved even mean? Well, the rules give us three clear ways. The first is interfering with play. That's the obvious one, where you actually touch the ball your teammate passed you. The second is interfering with an opponent, like blocking the goalie's view or trying to tackle a defender. And the third is gaining an advantage, which means you play a ball that's rebounded off the goalpost or bounced off the keeper. Okay, now we're going to get a little more advanced. This is a detail that causes a ton of arguments, even among the experts, but it's so important for understanding how offside is called today. And it all comes down to this idea of a deliberate play by a defender. Let's look at the actual rule. It says that if you're in an offside position, but the reason you get the ball is because a defender intentionally played it, maybe they tried to pass it back to their goalie and messed up, then you are not considered offside. That defender's deliberate action basically resets the whole play. So a deliberate play isn't just any touch. It's got to be a controlled move. We're not talking about a panicked block or a lucky deflection that just ricochets off someone. Referees look at a bunch of things to figure this out. They'll ask, did the ball travel a good ways, giving the player time to react? Did they have a clear view of it? Was the ball moving slow enough to handle? And crucially, did they have time to actually coordinate their body? A ball on the ground, for example, is way easier to control, so that's more likely to be a deliberate play. All right, we've covered the position, the offense, and that tricky, deliberate play thing. To finish this off, let's talk about the three specific moments in a game where the offside rule just gets turned off. Doesn't matter where you're standing, you just can't be offside. And this one is as straightforward as it gets. It's a great one to remember. If you get the ball directly from a goal kick, a throw-in, or a corner kick, there's no such thing as offside. An attacker can be standing right next to the goalie, and it's totally fine for their teammate to throw or kick the ball right to them. So let's bring it all back home. At its very core, the offside rule is just that simple formula. You have to be in an offside position when the pass is made, and you have to get involved in the play. If both of those things happen, it's a foul.
And then we just add our little asterisks. That formula doesn't count if a defender deliberately plays the ball to you, or if the ball comes from a goal kick, a throw-in, or a corner. And that's it. That's the whole thing. You now pretty much get the entire offside rule.
So next time you're watching a game and you see that assistant referee's flag shoot up, you'll know exactly what they're looking for. Where was the player when the ball was kicked, and did they get involved? You've got the knowledge now, so the only question left is, are you going to be the one on the couch who makes the right call before the whistle even blows?